I haven't seen fights or nothing like that. Um, that talks about like content creation. I'm doing content. Y'all tell me y'all like my vibe. I like I'm down to earth. One thing I'm always trying to stay firm on. Everything. What I mean by that is not just don't sell out. That's one of the things. But I also mean I notice a lot of people make it to a certain level, they start looking down on it. I was raised as to get up, as to so
Trevor, will you stop? Please, stop. Stop.
I always try to just level head. Try to let everybody know I'm not superior. I don't know more than anybody else. I know something more than me. No big deal. But I never try to like act superior or act like I'm better than anybody. Try to keep it basic. Try to just I'm an average person like everybody else. Like everybody else. I have a talent. Someone has a better talent than something else. Everybody got their talent. That's what I try to look at. Like I might be good at something. I might be watching this right now. I might be better at something else. That's cool. Hey, that's how I look at it. Just like everybody else, man. I didn't have day jobs. I didn't went to college. I didn't play ball. I didn't play sports. I didn't been in the same situations other people watching me. I'm an average person. I keep family. Might catch me at Walmart. I ran into one of y'all subscribers. Ran into a few subscribers in person. Like, yeah. The laundromat, like, yeah. I'm an average person, so that's why when people say that, I'm like, I just want to let y'all know I'm always trying to stay level-headed, balanced, and accessible. How I try to reach back out. Follow, I try to get y'all to follow back. I don't ever try to make like bigger than anybody. I don't like that. Yeah. Average person. I appreciate y'all. Like y'all know, that's my mission. Always trying to stay firm on who I was when I first started to who I was when I transitioned else or whatever the case is. Like, never. I feel. I know a lot of people certain levels and things. I'll be like that. I won't be like that. Y'all heads up, man, but I just want to add on to it. I appreciate y'all to collect it. Shout out to y'all again.
Day and age of people don't know I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. I was on the stage receiving back here, and there were people that I have. And when I thank God, I saw go to clap, but then notice that bad thing on my resume, and then see that on there. If you're going to stand firm on your faith, type in the comments, amen, and click follow and subscribe for content like this.
Clear Lake has a spooky history that stretches to long before it was a national park. It includes everything from dragon-like monsters to UFO sightings, missing persons cases to ghosts, and last but not least, a floating log that potentially controls the weather. The Klamath and other area tribes believe that Crater Lake and the mountain that preceded it is the doorway to the below world. This makes sense considering they were witnesses to the largest eruption in the Cascades in the past 1 million years. They believe that the lake is sacred and even that looking upon it may lead to death. Rhode Island is the center of many stories. Rangers tell tales of seeing campfires or smoke on the island long after the last tour boat has left, only to find that nothing is there when they arrive later to check it out. I was actually told some of these stories when I was doing field work there. Another ghostly fire was spotted outside the ran by a ranger on patrol. Ranger Kerwin claimed she saw a large fire surrounded by at least people far from any designated campground. As soon as she approached to tell them off, the fire and all of the people had disappeared. Supposedly, it was on the site of an old Park Service campground called Cold Spring. Old Man of the Lake even gets in on the action. It's claimed he controls the weather. When the submarine crew was working in the lake in the late 1980s to survey the bottom, they tried tying him up so he wouldn't get in their way. Legend says that severe storms blew in that day, stirring up the water and preventing them from working. They stopped as soon as they set free. Guess he just didn't want to be tied down.
So do you see the supernatural at work as you out across what's happening after you spot at work? Do you ever think to yourself, think so. My opinion is that the development of the world community is in a current law, and laws are what they are. It's always been this way in the history of mankind. Some nations and countries rose stronger and then left the international stage, losing the status they had accustomed to. There's probably no need for me to give examples, but we'll start with the Genghis Khan and the Golden Earth, then end with the Roman Empire. It seems that there has never been anything like the Roman Empire. As the potential of the barbarians gradually has hit their body. In general, the barbarians were getting stronger and begun to economic. Eventually led to the collapse of the empire and the regime imposed by the Romans. However, it took 5 centuries for the Roman Empire to fall. The difference was happening now. But since the processes of change happening much faster pace than
You will not believe what you can find at Michael's this holiday. I know, right?
when is the AI empire? We're asking increasingly more complicated questions. Answer them, you'll be an expert in big numbers, big data, and AI. Mankind is currently facing many threats. With the genetic researches, it is now possible to create a superhuman, specialist being, genetically engineered athlete, scientist, military. There are reports that Elon Musk had already had a chip implant training in the USA. What do you think of that? Well, I think there's no stopping Elon Musk to do as he sees fit. Nevertheless, we need to find some common ground with him, search for ways to persuade him. I think he's a smart person, I truly believe he is. So you'll need to reach an agreement with him because this process needs to be formalized, subjected to certain rules. Humanity has to consider what is going to happen due to the newest development in genetics, in AI, and can make an approximate prediction of what will happen. Since mankind felt that potential threat coming from their weapons, the nuclear nations began to come to terms with negligent use of nuclear weaponry could fight humanity. It is impossible to stop research in genetics, AI today. Is it possible to stop the use of gunpowder? But as soon as we realize that the threat comes from unstable development of AI, genetics, each international agreement regulate.
Anybody who speaks that language, you let me know if he's. Hey, yeah, he was. Let me know in the comments. That how do I? Let me know. yeah, I'm forgetting now. I'm even recording a video with y'all right now. Like, I'm over here really looking at that one. Like, this man going crazy, bro. This man going crazy. I have feel about Crater Lake. Weather start going wild, severe weather issues. Oh, what? It's a native state around here. Hey, get in there, let me know. I don't know. Now Pyramid Lakes, like a tourist spot. Crater Lake, I don't know. That was, yeah, I told y'all I can't see people about mysterious deaths there, so I ain't even trying to be. I ain't trying to find out. I know the rest. I ain't trying to find out.
America is like, I'm literally shaking. I'm shaking. I don't know what this means. I need your help. I need you to help me figure out what this means. Like, what? A follower sent me a video and I just kind of went down the rabbit hole from there, but what does this mean, guys? Look at this. I'm going to show you. I didn't believe it until I did it myself, and seeing this on a picture that I personally took is what shook me the most. Like, God, what? I don't know what's going on.
Okay, got some Hunger Games, right? That's my first Hunger Games. First. Guys, me that the whole dome come apart. Okay. That's what that remind me of. Another one. I can't remember the other one, but it's another movie. Sorry, darling. Oh, sorry, darling. Because that was a wife. Oh, yeah. That's why I'm like, I'm gonna try that though. I'm gonna try it. And if it works, I'm most likely gonna go ahead and post it in the tab. I probably won't post it on. I probably post it. I'm probably gonna try that one. I don't know when. I ain't got no. I don't have no time right now. I got these videos. Got to edit. I got some things. Like, yeah, I don't know. I might do it.
On airport, donation of the law, brief guy director. Yeah, I know this law. Who's how do I take on that have technology in the circle? First street acts have never happened in a country that president, director of the CIA, they have all been pushed denied access. Secrecy. So let's say you have mounts has enough potential power. Afterwards, that means every home, business, or manufacturing, village in Africa, that would generate all the energy we have. That technology 14. Just a based on that's showing even they do set up this ritual.
You don't, I guess.
With allergies, if someone's exposed to allergies, they can get by washing them. Massage works by pulling saline in one through the nose and out the other nose, cutting out allergens, mucus, dust, and germs. Experience on-the-spot relief so you can breathe easier, sleep better, feel healthier. If seasonal allergies, Massage can help. Massage, brand new look, safe, great product.
I did in ancient Egypt, and here, States, there's and they believe setting up how that recreation of the ritual took place. Ceremony in the Dome of Isis is the capital. Now this is fascinating because the original ritual had to take place between the courtyard, the dome, and Abu. Putting those two together like that creates a power generator, literally a generator ritual. And the idea is that the of Osiris, Eve, is going to come up and it's going to take over the president. Now, this sounds crazy. Think about this. In ancient Egypt, what had happened was that the Pharaoh go through this ritual. He would enter in a man. That was their. They believed that their Pharaoh was the embodiment of that ritual. They were out of the underworld. So what we have in America is the same ritual, basically, that the basis. They have maintained the proper language and the ritual to be the ancient world. And to have still today. Right there in that power gym. Right around at the hair dome is what they echo. Literally, the hair dome is a massive, crazy temple in DC. They are up there to do this ritual. Out of the underworld, yes, exists the ritual of God. This is what Freemasons people. Not every president will baptize bodies, but they're not all. It's been going on since the beginning, to our knowledge, since the beginning of the nation being set up. They believe that it's going to stick eventually. They don't know which president virus. They believe the nation should know. Technically, the president, their eyes, is an Osiris. But the crazy thing is that not every time the ritual is going to stick. They have to keep doing it until it actually sticks. And that will they've been waiting. This is kind of like when we talk about how many years, Jack Parsons in the desert trying to get this stick. They do this at the inauguration of their president. They believe there's going to be a time in a president that will. And they will go through this ritual as a state in the capital. They're going to do this ritual. Final amazing ritual. That's going to be going to stick when they're in an administration. Going to take place. Antichrist dies. They will state in the capital beneath the 72 pentagram. He also Washington. And that's not it. There's so much about the capital. Statues, statutory law, statutory. But I believe that's the for the spirit of Osiris. The Bible talks about this apostle.
Out there with your bullshit, the shenanigans, living with ritual areas, the energy is shifting. And no coincidence, baby, that the Super Bowl is Sunday. Mardi Gras is Tuesday. Valentine's Day is. Baby, they're gonna harvest some energies from you clowns. Play around with them. All of y'all who making preparation for this Super Bowl, they will be harvesting energy. The ritual at the halftime will be a black magic ritual. Then they're gonna turn around and put the magic on y'all for Mardi Gras. And then turn around and put the magic on y'all for Valentine's Day, because all those holidays is for them. They set that up, so you gotta ask yourself, why are they setting up all these holidays? Because it ain't beneficial to us. All those holidays do is drain us financially. So they're not serving for our high school. Again, it's not a coincidence, honey, that Mardi Gras, Super Bowl, and Valentine's Day is back to back. Come on, y'all, please wake up. Why they doing it back to back? So they get to change the holidays anytime that they wanted to work for them financially, spiritually, emotionally. Hours. Of it. Distracted by. I see it.
You've got mail.
And go and play with God one day out of the week, an hour or two. And God is not behind, and y'all don't have nobody to play. I'm trying. Charity. Not a play. Everything. Children. That was playing on trying to get as much in. They can relevant. But they can bring this blow a mind on info. I would have nothing. Vision. Guilt. Charles behind the pool. $8 with the white man. I got it. Telling y'all in your face. I'm telling y'all not the truth. You can get just government issues. Trying to drink this alcohol. They call in demonic spirits into this realm from the spiritual realm, but they don't want y'all calling it. Y'all call it Jesus. But those spirits can attack y'all in a low vibration full of alcohol. Not me. And Valentine's Day. Just not get away. We don't have Trinity in families. We have a lot of equally relationships. Y'all see? And they screwing us over. Pretending like these masses. We're not. That's why we're suffering. Not present. See. This is not the way they're supposed to be. supposed to be learning from our mistakes, not repeating them. Waiting for somebody to come fix it. The only way you're going to get present happening. Elevate your mind. Now carry on with your habit. Never enough attachment. Shift. Very young. Or in frequency. At your mind. Anybody is right out there. Means alcohol. Running the time, fighting, do whatever you want. I've been in the church. I've been I was right around the corner. I'm gonna never. Even Valentine's Day, how much Valentine's Day? For us pretending that we in love with somebody. Coming on platforms talking about my husband, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, my wife. Look what they got me and putting on the fake cat and dog shows. And then going right back to the toxicity after Valentine's Day. I can't make this make sense to me, baby. Y'all have that foolishness. I'm gonna keep on this journey. I'm gonna keep talking to you. And I'm not coming at you blowing no smoke. But baby, that's gonna get. She's shooting straight from the hip, honey. I'm on this journey, trying to help one reach each one. I'm trying to shift. Shit. I can't play with you. I'm gonna shift some shit. Stay in my courageous. Gee. Carry on. Namaste.
In your house? Aren't you cold? Thirsty? Temperature. For custom comfort in the bulk brand? You better stay.
You will not believe what you can find at Michael's in Dallas. I know, right?
Bird? Anyone want to play?
Yeah! Let's get cracking! Let's play funky. Yeah! Back to the gathering.
My biggest thing about Valentine's, shit whack. It don't make sense. You can't tell me, there's people out there who don't do nothing for their significant other the whole year. And all of a sudden, one day out the year, on date. All of them. Like, it's waxing. As a man, I'm with somebody, everything. Periodically, I'm gonna get you gifts just because it's something, just because I'm showing you my face, a token of my patience. I'm gonna do good. Spend time with you, have memories, travel, laugh. It don't have to just. It doesn't have to just be right. It doesn't have to be because some people celebrate Christmas. It doesn't have to just be certain things. All of them. Helpful, loving, caring, wanting to spend time with. It's not even just about kids. You are supposed to just give them something. If you know this person likes, I don't know, yeah, whatever they like, and it can be simple. Do it. Just because it's Tuesday. Just because it's Thursday. Don't do it because it's Valentine's Day. Just because I'm just on them. And keep that going. That go for men or women. That's why I don't like Valentine's. I mean, I get it. That's it. I would do that on the regular, so it ain't no point for one day out the year. Whatever. Whatever, man. That's my take on
Mais je pense que le professeur ne va pas venir aujourd'hui. Donc je retourne à la maison.
Massive. America, Columbus, 92 medals. The guy, if there were 8 people do, it'd be 92, then they have the technology. Was coming over on his cube, edge of Pinto or whatever it was. 3 ships. And where are they? I don't see those ships. I don't see them. Hey, take a look. And those people, they put them ships. And you see those either. And that's the thing. There's don't see. Then we see all this nonsense. What about the artifacts? Canyon? Yes, they're big. Now, artifacts. And NSA Security and Counterintelligence, also known as the Q, the agency's
basically the piece of the enemy. Main job is to make sure was and targeted our intelligence.
Now that CNN clip of the Q crew, this gets blocked. Y'all know, getting past guidelines from CNN. Copyright that. Probably got removed. I hope it got to stay in. Wondering right now what I'm talking about. I done made it. I not have made it. Might have got taken out of it. How y'all feel about the ships not being in the museum? We already knew this. We already knew this though. Like we knew Christopher Columbus lying ass. We knew. We already knew. There ain't no question. Now one clip out there, turning in for the whatever it is, person jump out the wood. That's fake. I thought that was real. I remember when I first got that first clip, I paused it, right? And I was going through some more videos trying to find some more compilations, and I seen it again. Not the same video, just a different area. And I'm like, oh, bro, they just doing that for me. So, yeah, disregard that one. And I didn't notice it was even here till right now when I'm reacting to it. Y'all seen another video like that, and that one was like, I don't really like when they do. first one, like the silhouette, shadow or whatever. I've seen the first one. What a second. I've seen a big clip. That's by the time. Somebody said that their energy pop in and pop out of the. That's why it's hard to catch them on camera. Something like that. Something about. I heard that too before. And that would explain why. And again, also, like, it's like definitely. If they hit the news here tomorrow, oh, first Bigfoot sighting is real. If it was real, I actually footage of it. Getting busy, it's just wilding the hell out. I mean, 9 times out of 10, it ain't nothing like if the military wanted, they'd have been out of there. That's why I'm like, I was a big job running. Trying to hide me. I don't want nobody knowing I'm alive. I wouldn't, because, you know, at the end of the day, there's a number at that point. Once humans find out there's something bigger than them, they can come wipe them out, they're going to try to take it out first. That's just how it is. We do. I don't know. Threats, and that's how I'm thinking. Being a threat, I'm not really sure, but my guard is.
And after having spent some time video like this, after having his account and his needed illuminate stagnant. Hear about it. Hey, not good. Information I'm about to tell you, extremely. I was an intelligence specialist, United States Navy, since then. Realized that strange things that happened to me. My eye started to get reptilian, I guess, snake-eyed appearance. You look at my other video. That right here, you can actually see it. My eye looks like. I remember my body, certain areas. I know that's unconditional. My hands, my nose, they're steady. At first, I just put out a cry for help. I didn't know it was other people out there that went through similar experiences. I'm one of people.
I mean, I'll say, I don't trust him. Like that, they came and snatched him up quick. I mean, I think he was placed there just like, I don't trust him. Ever seen them open his eyes? I like that. Dang. I don't think I could go for it, bro. Can't go for it. You ain't playing with my eyes like that.
There is only one factor. Finish the game. Not the time. Basically. There is a reason. Other access. This is what the foremost hate I said. Answer.
A high price system from a
Has all your having power fighters absolutely. And you go, because when like now you have to navigate that path, you can't really be get the outside of you. Therefore, our minds are as absolute. All starts with I hate. No. No. I hate. I hate is actually hyperdimensional. Very foolish, I think, trying to I hate rich. How do you vow? Absolutely. They say Hashem, the name, the creation. Right. How that it can't be. Got a triangle facing up, down on the pictures as a also oh, asking, walking. They are all the divine energy that pours into our reality. If you, Yahweh, make these spiritually take you in a conduit connection to their energy. They control what you think. Prayer power. That's what. By the way, Amir, that's let's talk about what I age. Now, by the way, here, anything, that thing, actually, Yahweh, ask them where they're getting their. Ask them. I guess they have no idea what they're about. They're just repeating it. Let's talk about what I age. Moses asked God. When I go to God sent me, I say exactly sent me. What is your name? Which God requires. Language very hard to translate to anyone in our mind. The most it plays in magic, prayer, spirituality, language, all potential patience that prays. Then, no one of them is by themselves. Find them all together. I am that I am. I will become. I will become. You would think, therefore, I am. But this is telling you that we live in a value, aka change, value, that is changed by our consciousness. God is telling Moses, ever out of creation, consciousness, rare reality, stability, faith like God. Since then, the people have received this wisdom have used that to their advantage. It is also open and exit. It's patient. Gray aliens, fairies, angels, saints, balls of light, boom, name it. Most of them are probably created by magicians. They use energy, potential, and action ourselves in reality, lose sight of the spiritual. They're able to do all sorts of things. Five meditation, a sort of call upon the aliens. Isn't that the same spirit? Yes, it is exactly the same. And everyone has the potential to do this. Now there's a higher version, a person, it's called the outdoor stuff, called the light power. Merkaba, what Jesus Christ did, resurrect on the day, and all the yogis and meditating about it. Someone's at the back time. Everyone's following that you're worshiping science, God, like the Federation, like different apparition, manufacture. There's not anything that is real and connected to God in a way. It is like a filter. God's like passion, cultural, then it manifests. What I'm trying to say is, yes, it's actual magic, which, yes, everyone gets you. Most of there's have the more people that worship false idols, how powerful that false idol be in the invisible world, then they have an effect on the psychological that we, etc. This feedback. So let me tell you something special. We're having contact, telling the Venus, and now since we have satellites and we see those places, they've changed their deities and particularly because for that they were there. We lived in high mountain. That was sky, that past sky. They changed based or they're manifested like the conscious based on the aka Daniel chapter 10, Prince of Persia, a principality, of Persia, the amalgamation of language, culture, desire, their belief. Actually lived around the territory of as a spirit operating with the actual. There's principalities everywhere. Principality around right now.
You've got mail.
These are the things he needs tries to manifest that cultural energy. Maybe behave, maybe think, maybe else what we built the part of the back to God.
Me, my son, Randall, just caught this.
That's how we know. Like I said, the phone carriers trying to take their government action, but also our government, safe. That's why I'm mindful. Not knowing to, and I never knew, but all the way. Thank you. Like, comment, subscribe. Average out of about videos. And y'all know, make sure to post notifications. Also, like, comment, watch the channel. Like the type of content, type of content you collect. Y'all know. I'll see y'all in the next one.
I just took my camera.
gonna get on everybody's nerves. Like, yeah.
And they ain't closing there. Hello, welcome to another edition of Club Shay Shay. I am your host, Shannon Sharp. I'm also the proprietor of Club Shay Shay. Gather stopping by for conversation today. One of the most recognized stars on the planet. World famous actor, talented sitcom star, comedian, talented artist, best-selling author, children's books illustrator, advertising pitch maker, human rights activist, Hollywood A-lister, one of the fittest celebrities on the planet, 3 times People's Sexiest Man of the Year. His acting career spanned 4 decades, one of the stars of the Hollywood Walk of Fame, caring husband, I think your grandfather.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Proud father, Greater Flint African American Sports Hall of Fame inductee, NFL alum, good friend of mine, Terry Crews. T. Crews, what's up, man?
Oh, man, it is a
Long time
pleasure.
no see.
I know. It's been good, man. It's been a long time.
It's been a very long time. Because I remember I used to bump into you all the time, especially at events at the Super Bowl, but I hadn't seen you in a long time. You said, a lot of things, had the COVID and, the family, got grandkids now, so it's just not as portable as it used to be.
Yes, yes.
But how you been, man?
I've been great, man. Been really, really good. I'm just thankful, man.
Welcome everyone to the Hurting Humanity channel. I just wanted to do a quick video on this channel because I haven't done one about my other channels and my website because a lot of people have been asking me about my website and why I don't my website URL. Obviously, the majority of you already know why I can't and don't do that, so I put like this up 24 hours. I'm not allowed to my website because I'm not allowed. So before I get into the website, I just want everyone out there to know, if you are a subscriber to this channel, please or also subscribe. Nations Inspire and Rebel Call. These are my 3 active channels that I have right now. Make sure you're subbed to all of them because I'm going to be uploading channels for people out there that don't know. I get a strike or something happens. I other channels currently. Rebel Call is going through waiting periods now over on this channel. Nations Inspire would be the channel that I upload on next, and I am currently making content there as well. I'm trying to put up over on the Nations Inspire channel now. Remove videos is a very common thing for anyone out there that subscribe to. Obviously, I am on my 83rd channel, and all of my videos continually get wiped off of YouTube every few weeks or so. When I get around 5 to 30,000 subscribers, they use my channel overnight without even having strikes on them. So all of my archive videos are still on the website, callforanuprising.com. That is my website. That is the name I use on this platform. Before, of course, all the censorship started, I had close to billions of subscribers, billions. My channels were growing very quickly. Obviously, they want that to happen. They didn't want people stuck out of the left-right paradigm. They didn't want people to truly what's going on in the world. So my channels all got new. Obviously, many other ones, different names. Last couple of years, Time for Judgment, Uprise, I mean, we could go through a long list of them. I just had Wake Up Call, got to about 50,000 subscribers. That got new today about a month or 2 ago. So my website is callforanuprising.com. It is $99 a month. $99 a month is so I can have unlimited bandwidth over there. I have to pay monthly. All of my videos, there are thousands on the website. I also have a call to keep polls out because a lot of people over there trolling in the forum. Very, very great website, great forum, very informational. No trolling going on. There's no spamming going on. The forum itself is $99. You also get all my uncensored, all the ones that I still do that I can't get up here on. Obviously, a lot of those having to do that injection they were trying to get inside of people's bodies, and they were try to explain that stuff the best that I can in my videos. Over on the website, a lot of those are so the forum over there for you to post what's going on in your town, what you're seeing, articles that you want to share with me or others out there. All these topics from Project Blue Team, all of the agendas and stuff that has all those things discussed over on the website, whatever might interest lots of like-minded people there. And I highly recommend everybody out there get the website. Chance if you have it, and again, $99 a month. I don't do on my channel products. For most of you, that a lot of content creators have gone because of really what they've done to the platform. Content creators have helped build, obviously gone in a different direction with trying to promote specific ideologies. A lot of content creators constantly selling products, whether it's Bible, flashlights, all types of random. Never tried to waste anybody's time in my videos by promoting anything, my content, and that's why the website's really the only thing that I promote, because it is my content. This group of people are very like-minded over on the website, sharing great information. Definitely check it out if you haven't. allforuprising.com. And if you're not somebody who wants to join, I recommend you sign up, get your email into submission. That way I'll have your email and I can notify you where I am at the event. I get nuked again, which is a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So you can sign up and then you'll get notifications for the things. Send out thousands every single day when I do something over there, or every couple. So definitely do that now if you haven't, but at the very least, or you subscribe to my other channels here on YouTube, Fire and Rebel Call channel. I'm only leaving this video up for a few hours, so anybody out there says, oh, I'll get around to it later. The only time I'm going to do it and promote my other channels, I don't want there to be connection. I don't want because all the channels at once. So I only do temporarily 2 hours. Months or so, I'll let new subscribers know where they can find my website, where they can find my other channels. Do those things now. If you haven't, I want to thank everybody for being here. A lot of new content coming next couple of as old. So that's thank you guys again. God bless all of you.
So maybe a little over a year ago, riding along
A wrestling match only when the performers in the ring are on the same page and a wrestling match only when the performers in the ring are on the same page and cooperating. But every now and again, somebody will go off screen, deliver a receipt. That's it, they've given an errant flow they may have received combat. This practice probably happens that we know about, but the cameras are rolling, payback unfolded front of our army. Adam Pacheco from Compolic Wrestling, and these are 10 vicious in-ring WWE. Number 10, swinging stretches. Once the dust had settled on the original W19, brings a turn to anger when it became packing the revealed during the show close. Some such as an outraged Tracy President Rachel Bass, Evie Richards actually got the chance to max revenge. Al on I-7, SmackDown. To avoid a law, WWE offered show which under no deal rules. The match passed without in 60 rules took full advantage. All for him, record WWE. Ever open hardware, which is what he expressed from the ferocity of the chair, noting that JD played beforehand that there were no issues afterwards. That time received number 9, the Warrior. Andre the Giant, so much. No shot for 7. Pro wrestler I know, and often took out his opponent big. Andre didn't like you, well, you were in for a rough night. Something like Bam Bam. Randy Savage found out first hand. Another top of the Giant. Warrior. Time to a house show about. Andre stumbling back and tying himself up in front. Overzealous Jim Hellwig warned the move too fast and hard, much to Andre's displeasure. After several nights, the man known backstage as Boss decided to both give a receipt. And the lesson, holding out a fist and stopping the Warrior in his track. According to the wonder of the book manager, after Warrior slumped up with the close wrestled, Andre turned to the brain at ringside and said, he's burning. Number 8, Armageddon for Orton. Randy Orton spent most of 2004 in the 2 men back in WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and No Mercy. 2% and a fell Armageddon on the go-home edition of that. Oh, well, Killer and the Dead had a heavy-duty Orton with a chair bumped open. According to Randy, mistake of the chair from and drew blood hard way. Orton was apologetic backstage, with Taker calmly letting him okay because receipt coming. During their Armageddon call, on grabbed the chair and let him know that his eye for an eye was en route, with the Viper unable to do anything but stand there and take it. Randy did say that Taker, while making sure it stung, took care of him, noting that the whole episode taught lesson. From then on, in his well-being, Orton's number 1 priority. Number 7 is Maven. Maven founded TWW pay-per-view main event. The upstart 70 Randy Orton versus Orange Jericho. Triple H at 8 in the Series 2. However, before taking them, Maven was attacked by fresh faces, a giant baby. Never feared, because like all good baby faces, the bloody Maven found the intestinal during the take them. Forearm that broke his oops. As Maven later recounted, extra adrenaline resulted in routine safely 100 times for the well, it didn't take long to sneak to pay him back by waddling his baby Maven claimed I putting a lift extra on the chair job, but the station knew better. Many events they still have a laugh about it, whether they run into cover today. Dreamer's Nightmare. 2003 Royal Rumble, the big ago, entered the bout at number and eliminated a title, nothing but shot. The match sucked out. Was a hell of a performance, but as a cop, a Dreamer entered the TWW icon, bringing a hardcore element, producing passion, and his trusty aim. Like everyone else in Y2J is him, audibly asking. The second shot cracked him, fair in the face. Buddy Jericho had a noticeable red weapon. And after, apparently, the finish, and then laying in crystal back with the cane off Dreamer's back as he's lying on the mat, then throwing the cane ratio. I mean, you did tell him to hit the game. Saying, number 5, no smack. As we've already established, Chris Jericho doesn't suffer wisely, especially if it happened to hit him hard in the face. The Ayatollah of rock and roller may not have been the dog in the noted for his toughness and refusal to back down from anyone. Fair enough. There's no one controversial SummerSlam 26 in the main event. A few months after that, the Canadian scrapper shows that he can prepare. Boss's son in his place is Jericho and Shane McMahon on opposite sides of traditional 5-on-5 Grand Tap. And Shane caught Jericho on the nose with one of his notoriously awful punches. Jericho left the ring with the frustration, loneliness, retaliation, and shocking face. I2J would later admit to resorting to such measures, but to calm the irritable McMahon. Number 4, the world's most prosperous city. Well, if Shane McMahon was I'm not quite sure what word you would use to describe and the former UFC officer unsurprising, remains WWE. The world made him and the Mastodon far from happy. Tyson responded in kind, not kindly, after twice asking Vader had his opponent forearm right. He now came. Number 3, the Wrath of Saturn. For a WWE dog god, written in established star. Receipt. After all, 99% of the match is going to be behind it. Once in a blue moon, however, something goes pear-shaped during the other fight. Receipt. Moving down. Most famous Chris Saturn's destruction during a May 7th one take. Hell, who would be the WWE. Please. Off and on drag. His own bell now runs Saturn with fight mode. Attacking out of the hope for an ugly landing of ringside. After Perry is calmed down, the rest of the pass without further issue. Former European admitted wrong with reprimanded backstage, such as with punishment. Number 2, Brock Rumble's Raw. Top of the list of human beings we don't under any circumstance. A real Brock, the basic of the scariest and most tough guy in history of pro wrestling, having excelled in amateur wrestling and MMA. Lesnar is well aware that he pretty much break any opportunity and has remained professional throughout his career. Well, most of them, anyway. And the 2 universal triple threat match. 28 Rumble. The monster among men. Lesnar with a face, so the champ fell with a turn shot to the knee. Followed by a round the 10th. As Strowman subsequently repeated, they gave him a reminder. What about backstage after? Number 1, Coco, oh no. After getting punched for real, I think the first thing on the receipt he was a undertaker, the only dude that Dan do. Then World Champ, other side of the two matched on January 3rd, 4 episode of Monday Night Raw. According to the Wrestling Observer's Nelson, our man Dan, backstage beforehand, felt up for a very painful. Not only did you his the board with what must have been close to life. Amazingly, not only did Dan not die in the ring match, he actually worked the losing to Crush. Tell you what, that must have been 9 times better than crushing from Yoko. A wrestler's finish often meant a high point of the match, or indeed a whole show, and it's something that the fans who go up as much as fans may. Wrestlers themselves don't always like to be on the receiving end of them. Ordinarily, this is because they're taking someone else's finish. Join us. Number 10, Diamond Dallas Page, Randy Savage's playing elbow. Diamond Dallas Page always goes out of his Randy Savage, helping to make him a legitimate mate. It was the Macho Man who decided to work with and put over DD. Rob the Diamond, Red was grateful. One aspect of working with Savage, not appreciate, was having to take a nightly. Randy had used some as pretty as they're attractive, not made perfect. According to one particularly important for the creation of their own words, thrashed off. Doctor suggests, but wasn't about to turn down the chance to work a program
Damn,
with
Macho.
Savage. Which later asked Macho meetings, with them. Only Randy said, and swear in the face.
Oh, they were going to connect. Can I eat something? Can I live?
Flying Bret Hart's ability scissor.
No.
It was hurting. But it the excellence of taking care of his while working as son of the Ireland presented anyone affording the same courtesy, which evidently fellow two-point WWE. If not, during a 2024 virtual Hitman noted, hated finisher who worked together in done. According to Brett, the move was dangerous and drove his head right into the mat.
Joker.
After a few times
Quit.
of this happening, Hart had to ask
Hey.
them,
Hey.
stop it.
Hey, man, bro.
Responding to regardless, he only had positive memories of working with Hart. Brett certainly is out calling out, having previously stopped, void, as well as anything delivered by Bill. Great Rob Van Dam, Hardcore Holly's Alabama Slam. Considering he was a and tough man competitor before honing his land over, and it's no surprise that Rob Van Dam has a reputation as well as being a handler. Made a point to rate his durability. All manner of crazy. Though he may have been go through a table or take them and who the RV never liked was on the surface relatively simple. The Van Dam, the Alabama Slam, made famous by WWE star Holly, was the first move that considered but there's not much you can break your man. We're essentially at the mercy of the brigade. Number 7, Sabu tests running big. Like his tag team partner Rob Van Dam, Sabu has a reputation for accepting partners, the rev that earned big over. After all, this is a man who wrestled with broken bones. Once used crazy glue to seal the wound by barbed wire. Stars telling the story of a career of extreme ring war. But it's not as if the man himself actually enjoyed the pain. He may have been good at taking it. Wasn't a masochist, but preferred to have gotten through a match unscathed if possible. That wasn't when he was booked during WWE rebooted version of EW. Test did not long brought back to WWE for a 2 being put one of the top heels. Sabu was one of the unfortunate. Had to take Canadian running. Sabu claimed would knock him out every time. After seeing stars for the umpteenth, Sabu told Tess no longer do the move. Look at Dave, which Tess replied, no, Vince told me to kill you with compassion. Number 6, Eric Bischoff, Rikishi Stinkface. You were a heel, WWE, Rikishi. Chances were you were going to get an up-close and personal view of his cornhole. Pretty much probably from his big back in the face of whatever port find themselves sitting with their head resting in turnbuckle, including as deep than Vincent's man. Take long for WWE. Look a segment. WC Fish received which he payoff angle unforgiven. Ooh, Easy E must have going to get Molly. He had a real problem about his resistance to 3-week podcast. John noted that he wasn't big on the idea of top. And complained to the writers, but ultimately swallowed his message, decided that he could do his best with the situation, even if he wasn't happy about it. Number 5, Bob Backlund deals Jackknife Powerbomb. At WWE Madison Square Garden House, November 26, 1994, shockingly beat title 3 days after Bret Hart for it. Not only was the result shocking, but so too was the manner in which Daddy Cool back to the belt, hitting Bob with the gut and his favourite jackknife powerbomb, the W second. A pretty night's work for Backlund, you might. But the transitional champ was fuming afterwards. According to Bruce Christian on his Something to Wrestle, Bob returned to the SG dressing room and began ranting to about how he would never take the move again. Backlund had hurt his tailbone on the front landing. It's hardly surprising. How WWE time, not to mention Kevin Nash's habit of letting them there rather than sliding them down to December. Play to Backlund, who stole the jacket by crawling all the way back to the dressing room. At least I think they're selling number. Or The Undertaker Powerbomb. The powerbomb is typically a move that is performed on the quote-unquote smaller wrestlers. It's a very, very hard thing to do on a giant. Close to 7 feet. Locking in. Now, Undertaker wasn't taking many powerbombs. He did take a few during his long and illustrious career, and he didn't like it. During a Q&A session on his Patreon, Deadman revealed that his least favourite finish take was in fact the powerbomb, referring to it own rap. Taker didn't relish it, and noted that the landing varied on who was delivering it. On the aforementioned, one of the very few. Alderman, Taker name check Pittsburgh, one that he please, as the master and ruler of the world, always in a hurry to get down, which resulted in added force. Taker the move personally, you might think, before though using the move himself. But, well, number 3, Kurt Angle, The Undertaker's last ride. When The Undertaker returned, American Badass, in 2000, he brought a new finishing move. Tombstone pile driver with while the chokeslam was not Mark out. Primary match. Brock's favorite wrestler was now flipping away with the love ride, a powerbomb, an extra oomph. Rather than a standard powerbomb, Taker would grab his opponent's weight, the friggin' ring ball. Or not, it's her. Just ask Kurt Angle, who claims the last ride would literally knock the... That experience is an Olympic hero. Angle's advice for any at the Taker was to go to the beforehand. Move was so intense. Voluntary bowel move. It also can't be very good for Kurt's broken freaking neck. I'm sure the pain of the comes. Singlet was that much worse. Number 2, Bobby Heenan, the Ultimate Warrior's press slam. Nobody is going to accuse of being a technically sound professional wrestler. Doing so, I'll just go ahead and... Hellwig's alter ego was more about the costume and the appearance and every like the wrestling of the presentation. His matches. Warrior often heard the people with and developed a reputation for being reckless. One person who liked living with was wrestled the Neil Nutter. The brain didn't think of Warrior as a worker or Hellwig as a person, and often found himself before after their matches. He even found himself there after Warrior's match, managing, and Warrior through to WrestleMania 5. After the bout continued, Warrior hit Bobby with a press slam kick, carelessly dropping the manager like a sack of spud. Then, who had a dodgy, didn't appreciate, made a vow to never take the move. Number 1, Triple H rocks Paul's elbow. During a 2017 radio, Triple H saw his future is the very best of career. Their events happened at the same time, and they helped make each other. In the very same interview, the game also derived great ones calling it a copious. So originated something the Rock would do on our show, try to get Undertaker's character. Wade, Hunter didn't enjoy having to take it often. Required lying on the ground for about 20 seconds while the most electrifying man in entertainment went through average shtick and tried the most electrifying move in. He also felt it looked weak, what with it being elbow. Wayne would sometimes somehow catch Helmsley's face and bust his elbow, making it a legitimately painful experience. Fact is, Paul, it doesn't really matter what you think, because the people's elbow was like, oh, plus Rock's on the board now. If you smell it!
Oh my God, we hit a boat! Where's the fort?
Bicep. His video was sponsored.
In 2002, Halloween Resurrection seemed to close the door on the original film's run. It ran out of gas and failed both critically with a 10% score on Rotten Tomatoes, as well as commercially, with it only bringing in $37 million on its $15 million budget. The next year would see Freddy and Jason clash with each other, and Leatherface get the remake treatment from Studio Platinum Dunes, while Freddy and Jason would get their own remake, 2009 and 2010 respectively. You know you can't keep a good masked villain down for long. So before his two main slasher rivals got their day in the sun, Michael Myers would receive his own remake that came out in 2007. Drastically different take, and a new producer behind the wheel, Halloween would get a chance to do something drastically different than it's before. Everyone will be entitled to one good scare, and we find out what happened. Rob Zombie's Halloween. As stated before, Resurrection did not do well with fans or critics when it came out in 2002. Todd family, who owns the rights and had very specific rules for the character, knew that he shouldn't be down for too long, even with the Laurie Strode storyline finally coming to a close. While we all know now that a certain musician and horror aficionado would eventually take the reins on the project, there were a ton of ideas that put it around first. There was a crossover like Michael's fellow slashers had already received, but this film would mix our silent stalker with the Cenobites from the Hellraiser series. Clive Barker himself agreed to write it. There was an effort made to get Carpenter back in the director's chair. Barker was looking forward to exploring less a brawl between the characters and more an exploration of the two worlds and how they could be tied together. This would fall through as it was not seen to be profitable, particularly after internet polls claimed audiences just weren't into it. Other unmade ideas for the franchise include Halloween Bad Blood, bring back the Amy Lloyd character that died in Part 6, Halloween Retribution, Halloween Asylum, and Halloween The Missing Years. Check out our WTF Unmade series for some on those. Retribution would bring back a different set of characters. Michael would kill off Busta Rhymes' Resurrection character and then face off against both Laurie's son, introduced in H2O, and former Haddonfield Sheriff Lee Brackett, who were both seeking revenge. That film was to end with John Tate drowning Michael in a frozen lake, claiming revenge for his mother, but going the Amy Lloyd route by implying that Tate may be next to take on the mantle. Asylum would set up Michael serving a prison sentence for his crimes, but when he was to be executed while on death row, find a way to escape and wreak havoc. The Missing Years would take an even more extreme route, one that is also completely out of continuity, by having Michael back in Haddonfield during the events of The Witch. Considering that movie doesn't even exist in the same reality of the other films, it's probably best that that film never saw the light of day. None of those made it very far into production, and while Mustafa Akkad and Alec were working on yet another idea featuring a character from the movie, Mustafa tragically died as a result of injury made during a bombing when he was fighting in Jordan. Mustafa had been a producer on the first 8 films. It was now up to his son to keep that legacy. After preparation was halted due to the tragedy, Alec would finally hand off the assignment while partnering with the mentioned films and the Weinstein brothers. The man chosen to take the reins on remaking one of the most hallowed horror films in history, the musician and writer-director Rob Zombie. Zombie, frontman of band White Zombie and later a solo artist, always a fan of the horror genre. Hell, his band's name is a callback to the 1932 Bela Lugosi of the same name, and many of his music videos contain public domain horror, or are thematically in the horror realm. Zombie isn't a fan of remakes, especially horror, but after the success of his first 2 features, 1,000 Corpses, Devil's Rejects, he was a solid name to give the Halloween franchise to, and decided to opt in. Even went to John Carpenter to let him know out of respect, and was surprised by the outcome. He was told that Carpenter really wasn't involved or interested in the franchise anymore, and that Zombie should make his own. Filming took place in Pasadena and Los Angeles, same place that Carpenter used to simulate Haddonfield, Illinois in the original. Budget of $15. Cast was a mix of zombie regulars, horror legends, new faces, even one returning member of the Halloween franchise. A faces like Bill Moseley, Sid Haig, William Forsythe, and Foray, and Sherry Moon Zombie had all worked with the director before. E. Wallace, who would become a Carpenter regular, Malcolm McDowell, and Brad Dourif add horror pedigree to their important titles, and two of them would come back for the sequel. Newer faces would be some of the most important roles of all, with Big Fair as a young Michael Myers, and Scout Taylor Compton as Laurie Strode. Compton actually beat out Danielle Panabaker for the role, and Panabaker would go on to take a lead role in the Friday the 13th remake. 2 years later, Compton was also the only cast member of The Girlfriends, an actual teenager, just like Jamie Lee Curtis was in the first Halloween. With Compton secured as Laurie Strode, her cast as Michael Myers, two other main driving forces, played by Malcolm McDowell, as a very different interpretation of Dr. Loomis. Tyler Mane as the most imposing Myers that we've seen on film. McDowell, of course, has had a legendary career, but Mane started off as a wrestler for the now-defunct WCW promotion, and was seen on screen as the first-ever live-action Sabretooth for the Fox X-Men franchise in 2000. He would work with Zombie again on The Devil's Rejects, coming on board in back-to-back films, this version of the Boogeyman. Corey's best friend on screen, Annie, would eventually be Compton's best friend in real life, and played by Danielle Harris. Harris is that returning franchise actress that we discussed earlier, as she played Michael's niece, Jamie, in both parts 4 and 5, before the character was off in 6. Fans Harris playing her. She wasn't sought out to come back and had to audition for the role, but was eager to shed her kid show image that she had pivoted to after Halloween 5. Rob Zombie and the violence and new grindhouse proportions. Halloween is no different. Both Harris and actress Christina Klebb signed on knowing that nudity and gore-heavy scenes would be involved. Harris was a plus at the acting image that she had been branded with. The movie does follow the original storyline, but not until the second half of the runtime. That runtime amounts to 109 minutes in the theatrical cut, and 121 in the director's. Was the longest runtime of the series. Reason for the length is that Zombie had originally proposed a duology and offered the role of driving creative force remake. Wanted an entire movie that centered around young Michael, origin, including the origins of the past, followed by a proper remake of the movie. Zombie's intention was to truly show how Myers was a psychopath, and the only time that subject had ever been broached was a deleted or alternate scene of the first 2 films. In novelization of the first movie, while Zombie was turned down for that 2-movie deal, was able to work some of those ideas into the first half of his vision of Halloween, including the first instance of Michael speaking.
Before we continue our video, reminder to click the Store tab on our Joe Blow channel and browse our collection of
The making of Michael into a more specific psychopath, body count was increased dramatically. 22, up from just 5 in the original. This includes all of his murders as a child, where he kills his sister and the people he takes out on his way to Laurie. Unlike the first movie, so immediately that Laurie is Michael's sister, and gets to see how his family life was before he becomes the Shape 2. Zombie would have interference at almost every turn on production, and states that it was one of the most stressful shoots that he had ever been a part of. When he took the job directing a sequel, he assumed it couldn't be any worse than what he went through for the remake, but as we know, it was far worse for him on that production. The movie was not released in October like the original was, and was instead slated for an August release, so it didn't have to compete with what was the current horror juggernaut in the Saw series with Saw 4. Unfortunately, just days before Halloween was to be released theatrically, or print version was online. Zombie came out and assured audiences that it would be different than the final cut. And he was correct, with scenes being altered or cut altogether. The fear was that it may hurt the box office run, just like it was attributed to doing to Hostel Part 2. The movie was still released as scheduled, across more than 3,400 theaters, the most ever for the franchise. Halloween would be a financial hit, with it making $80 million off its $15 million budget, but was mostly hated by critics, and is still divisive with its fans. While most critics felt that it was overly crude or didn't offer anything new to the character or story, there were some that gave Zombie credit for making it his own, something that Carpenter told him to do before the first scene and shot. The unrated cut was released on home video, also became a financial success, while offering a different look at the final product, with some scenes in the story in ways that make it a very different movie, including an alternate ending. Zombie would go on to make Halloween 2 in 2009, but that is where the franchise would pause until David Gordon Green would unleash his own trilogy that forgets everything after the first film. While it made less than the remakes, Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street, also made way for their productions to make them happen. Whether you like it or hate it, it's certainly a unique version of the night he came home. Now you know what happened. Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Mommy, you want a camera? Lori! I'm sorry, I don't have you.
Though there could be an argument for a chunk of Paramount entries, it's wild to think that the fourth movie in the slasher franchise would be considered the series' high. Add on to that this was advertised as the final chapter in what was thought to be a dying subgenre, and we ended up getting one of the best damn horror movies in the 1980s. And of course, in the Friday the 13th franchise. Let's lay it all out. Corey Feldman, who was on his way to becoming an 80s staple, debuted as Tommy Jarvis, who would become the series' main protagonist. Tom Savini, the original makeup artist from the OG, was brought back, and we got one of the best iterations of Voorhees, courtesy of icon Ted White. So let's dance like no one's watching. Dead fucks allowed. Sorry, not my words. And once again, head back to Camp Crystal Lake. We explore the making of a classic slasher and ask what happened. Friday the 13th, final chapter.
What? This? For the dead fuck. What? The dead fuck?
For every trend that feels like the sky's the limit, always have the sobering reality that this life is cool now quickly becomes irrelevant in the grand scheme of things. Slashers didn't quite have the same epic length in their golden era as others, but like that of a beautiful star full of blood and mayhem, they burned twice as bright, for half as long. Subgenre was already waning by the time Friday the 13th Part 3D was released, and the mood over at Paramount was shifting. Though it was a success, producer Frank Mancuso Jr. felt that the violent slasher resentment from family groups and significant publications was becoming an issue, and decided that the fourth Friday the 13th would be the last. How does one walk away on such a high note? Well, the thought was that you could kill your horror franchise before it gets stale, hence the final chapter moniker. It should be said that there's no guarantee this would have been the last entry, and that producer Frank Mancuso Jr. was more the one who wanted to move on and expand his reach within the company. But everyone involved believed, at least at the time, that this would be the final nail in the proverbial coffin of Jason Voorhees. After directing duties on parts 2 and 3, Steve Miner politely declined to return for the final chapter, saying, "Success of that series is based on remaking the same film over and over again. As a filmmaker, I wanted to go on to something different." Enter Joseph Zito. After his little special effects heavy slasher flick, Prowler caught the attention of Paramount, Mancuso took a meeting and a liking to Mr. Zito, trusting that he understood what types of movies they were trying to make. With a director on board, what would make the final chapter unique? How does one go out with a bang for a movie then? If there were noticeable differences story-wise, each entry was essentially the same thing, with the same vibe. But as Joseph Zito put it, he pitched a smarter movie that would focus more on the characters alongside the ultimate set-from-hell ideas. Mostly at night? You got it. The middle schooler is the main protagonist, along with his family and the main characters? Absolutely. Add in an adorable golden retriever since animals are always easy on set, you're goddamn right. Put some of the most important scenes in the rain while shooting in the middle of winter? Easy peasy. Now it was time to put paper, and according to Zito, Paramount wanted a single vision idea for their last hurrah with Jason Voorhees. But the only problem was that Zito wasn't a writer. He claimed to be one. However, he knew of one with whom he could hash out an outline, one that he was working with on a script before he was hired on to the final chapter. Bruce Hidemi Seiko came aboard and helped work out the general idea for Part 4, while Barney Cohen was brought in to help write the actual screenplay. Bruce sketched out the general story and decks, and Cohen brought in the family angle and helped strengthen the characters. You don't get great interactions from the likes of Ted and Jimmy without the heart of Cohen's writing. They both agreed that nothing would be worth a damn. He didn't care about the fate of the screen cast. It may sound ridiculous now, but killing for the sake of it only goes so far. He needed to give a damn about the team. If the final chapter had any chance of actually feeling, well, final. Casting-wise, they knew they needed more than your cookie-cutter team, so the idea was to aim for a tad bit of recognition, something a bit more trendy than what was used before, so we got a few semi-recognizable faces in the crowd for the first time. Pretty boy Peter Barton, famous for the 80s TV series Powers of Matthew Starr, cast as Doug. Lawrence Modison of The Last American Virgin played Ted, and of course, there are the Doublemint twins. He just had to be there. As Tina and Terry. Now, we can't leave out Crispin Glover, though his dad Bruce was quite well known at the time. Glover family's eccentricities were not a one-off. Very clearly passed down to his son. Crispin's Jimmy character was strange yet sincerely charming, kind of casting that would stand the test of time. There's a reason he was then, and still is, fan favorite. Can't just dance moves like this and not be one of the greatest. But one significant change, and a quite ballsy one at the time, to cast a kid as the protagonist, and his family as the heroes. Enter Miss Jarvis, Trish, and of course Tommy, played by Corey Feldman. Soon to be a household name, as this and Gremlins would release only a few months apart, Tito immediately saw the young Feldman's charm, capability, and passion in his craft. But there was a lingering doubt. A concern, if you will. Feldman be able to lift his machete? Could he make the defining the death of believable? You're goddamn right he did. We got our first introduction to what would be a recurring character in the Friday the 13th franchise with Tommy Jarvis. And it all started with Mr. Corey Feldman. But it was Ted White's casting of Jason Voorhees that tied this proverbial rug together. Longtime stuntman who doubled for legends like Clark Gable and John Wayne, White brought a visceral intensity to the role, not really seen prior. Tito wanted a slightly more intelligent Jason, who would think a bit more and plan out his attacks. White's intense and menacing physical presence perfectly captures the embodiment of what we think of as Jason Voorhees. And it all started here with Friday the 13th, final chapter. For all of the hoopla, and yes, I'm bringing that word back, about how Jason should never run, Ted White and his cowboy attitude clearly shows that you are wrong. Starting with the first day of shooting on October 31st, 1983, how apropos, the final chapter would be a grueling, freezing, and physically demanding shoot for all involved. Joseph Zito was known as somewhat of a perfectionist, which led to some tense moments on set. These were run-and-gun shoots that, at best, were stressful, and at worst, well, let's just say Mr. White and Mr. Zito had more than a few arguments. White saying, Joe Zito and I, we started off pretty good for the first 6 of 7 days. After that, he became kind of bully. Judy Aaronson's death as Samantha was difficult to shoot, and led to an unpleasant confrontation between the two. The raft kill was shot in an actual lake. Final chapter was a low-budget movie, so there's no surprise that a water tank was used. But this was in the middle of a Southern California winter, and wouldn't you know it, water was chillingly cold. So her lower half was in a wetsuit. The effects to look real, the top half needed to be exposed, and required to be in the lake for hours. Judy had said that it nearly broke her, and all the time spent freezing in an awkward position brought her to tears. Now add on to that a case of hypothermia. This pissed off Ted White. He had enough and called for her to be pulled out. And Zito allegedly responded, why don't you do Jason, and I'll do the directing. This caused White to threaten to leave. He wasn't taken out of the freezing water. This led to more than a few occasions of Ted telling Zito to rightfully kiss my ass.
Before we continue with our video, reminder to click the More tab on our Joe channel and browse our collection of
Hey, Ted, where the hell's Carns WoW?
A Friday kill is only good as the effects artist behind it. Would be the one to put Jason out of his misery once and for all? I'm fucking Savini, who was Kid Jason's inventor and had previously worked with Zito on the effects-heavy movie The Prowler. Any bookending creation just feels right. Ended up being the better decision for the franchise overall, whether it's Doug's head being crushed against the shower wall, or stunned, Lover's double corkscrew meet her demise, or Paul's spear to the crotch. You know, as you would, holding your own crotch. There's just something magical about a Friday the 13th death. The final chapter does not disappoint. Now, teens dying is par for the course, but since this whole movie would be advertised as Final Friday, how would they ultimately do away with Jason? How would Mr. Voorhees perish once and for all? Ironically, Tom Savini wasn't a fan of the steady head split, even if it's one of the most iconic deaths in the series, courtesy of his immense talent. But he actually pitched a far more gruesome ending. This would change some characteristics and set up Tommy as not only an effects lover, but one who is also into science. You take a microwave apart and tweak the power settings with a voltage control. The kid, he'd likely show this off by melting his plastic toy soldiers early in the movie. He'd end up jamming this device onto Jason's head, using an epic brain melt and head explosion. So Savini's idea would fit into the budget. The financial wing of the studio thought that it was too far off from the Friday the 13th formula. One of Savini's assistants, Don Bullich, happened to be messing around with a machete that had previously been used in a zombie's head from Dawn of the Dead, and in an off-the-cuff remark, mentioned that maybe they could use the machete to kill Jason. After all, it is his weapon. The machete idea was pitched to producers, and the rest, they say, is history. However, it should be mentioned that poor Corey Feldman had to do so many days with cap that he actually got the flu. So when you watch the final scene in the movie, it's impressive to know Feldman filmed it sick as a dog. But we should all be able to admit, if it's a low-key death, the head sliding down the blade, followed by Feldman's Jarvis going batshit crazy, does feel somewhat epic. There's a rawness to it, and it fits perfectly in closing out the series. Maybe not in scope, but certainly in emotion. On Friday, April 13th, 1984, Friday the 13th, final chapter, grossed $11.2 million in a weekend, setting a record for the series and Paramount Pictures. The reception from fans was ecstatic, grossing right under Part 3D with $32.9 million, and becoming the second most successful entry. And what of its legacy? Well, it's become a fan favorite and considered the best, if not the top two in the entire series. And it's not hard to see why. Ask any Friday lover if it's beloved, it's a resounding fucking A right it is. We have a charming cast with excellent chemistry, great kills, and a fantastic portrayal of Jason Voorhees. Heard enough to laugh and scream, and in the end, cheered on Tommy to go to town with Steady. Look back on Part 4, they move and shoot, that drama, and the foolish attempt to kill a series prematurely. The fact that this is even enjoyed as a triumph. But to come out as an agreed-upon high mark for the Friday the 13th franchise is a damn near miracle. You were lucky to get something this fun, violent, and cool, and we are damn happy on a following new generation. Jason will never die, and will continue to live on as passed down by generations, whether on Blu-ray with friends, marathon on Shudder, or at a midnight showing. Final chapter did prove one thing. Jason Voorhees was here today.
Hey,
my leg dead. This kind of thing happens every show. Yo, I gotta learn how to tie a bow. Robert Van Winkle. Nothing rhymes with Winkle. Oh, yeah. I'm right. I'm tapping all right. On a trend that's currently rising. Curly and Larry and O. Ever. I become richer with every endeavor. I'm living large in my bank. I just listen to real rap and stupid. I told the world I was stabbed in the butt, but it was a toilet paper cut. baby.
Hey guys, what's up?
Yo, I ain't stupid. I just stupid. Word of the
Child's Play emerged as a groundbreaking horror film that captured the imagination of audiences worldwide. Directed by Tom Holland and written by Don Mancini, rewrites by Holland and Don Mafia, the movie introduced us to the menace.
WWE. Educated has allowed you to as for everything from 1997 is content. You will agree this time ended in 2001 with WrestleMania. That generation. Hey, those are these teary-eyed memories about the Stone Cold beer barbecue.
I would have enjoyed watching the expression on your legend and finding. Never forget it.
Hi. Sorry for interrupting. Did you know Aetna Medicare has a strong network of doctors? So when it comes time to pick, you have so many. Head over to AetnaMedicare.com to learn more.
Never forget it. Got me a long. Welcome to Watch Mojo. Today we're counting down our picks for all screen episodes of the screen tips. Before we get started, first for this year more.
Big. Sorry that everybody can't be as perfect as you, Uncle Phil.
Number 20, Full Sunday. Thus. No doubt that the scheduling of this episode immediately after an actual immensely helped the trade. That said, a lot of people are talking about this as less as Super Sunday after its airing. Not that the character is process. This episode is itself a pair of real back period eyes a little more tragic.
Get the street, go back to the street right now! I'll be right up!
An old rock pod is sparked with eventually home and killed down.
Tragedy.
The stable may look harmonious, look like a well-oiled machine. Not always person. No driven business, like profession. The bouncer gets in the way of personality and class. 3 or more. Must have coexist. And a blades. Another. Wait. Number 10, to Guerrera and the rest of the Mexicans. The Mexicans, that's who Guerrera like. Crazy. I can send just summer of two. Help freshen up the brand stagnant cruise division. Take who too long, the cruiserweight type. Or alienate his colleague. Luchador. To choose his ego is legend. Though he was quite obvious. Actually, the most President 2, Guerrera believed could have been pushed wrong. His coupled with him showing up late, being unreliable, but having a generally attitude. Psychosis and super crazy, convincing from him. At one point, he was so isolated. The only person who would ride with him was the laid-back cowboy Bob Orton, crazy and latter of which had a management and asked from him out of that they may lose their jobs and guilty by association. Guerrera himself, he's shortly after causing one headache. Partners in crime were hardly sad to see. Oh, number 9, Kevin and Marks von Erich. Thanks to the Iron Club, many are now familiar with the tragic tale of the von Erich family. One subplot that was dropped from the movie. Mother of Lance von Erich, played by AF, had a blinking cameo back in mid-80s world-class championship. Lance von Erich, played by aspiring grappler William Kevin Ford, a bodybuilder, he discovered on a golf course. This kayfabe net, brought into in place of micron, diagnosed with oxygen. The rest of the von Erichs were against claimed to their rabid fans. Ford eventually left world class. Kevin was the most vocal mate and continued to bury life for a perceived lack of ability as afterwards the feelings thawed and Kevin did eventually thank him for helping the family did while apologizing and wishing him the best for the future. Number 8. Rudish or Michael. For many fans and often themselves, think to the trio of Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Later, Generation X. Certainly worth remembering that Rick Rude was also in the mix, beginning as DX's current. Ravishing Rick's stoic lifestyle, noticeably at odds with the other members' approach. It wasn't just in front of the camera that Rude and Michael printed. There's plenty of rumor and innuendo. Rude wasn't a fan of being around the heart. Fine. Michael has also made no secret. Bit of a massive break in those days. Of the locker room ready to wring his neck. No stretch to imagine that Rude was one of them, especially given his friendship, staunch anti-aging, obvious hard. Indeed, Rude was so intent over the monster crew job that he decided WCW with the tape and a live Nitro on the same night. When appearing on Nitro, Rude made sure to throw a couple of bars that night during his work shoot promo. Number 7, Santana and Ortiz. Santana and Ortiz may be best known as the proud and powerful tag team, but they also have a history of being in fact together. TNA, they were members of the reboot AX, while in AEW, they were part of Chris Jericho's Circle. It was while riding the coattails of the Champion that Santana and Ortiz only started to have issues with one another, and things only got worse from there. The beef between them got so bad that according to mutual friend Conan, there was almost a fight Santana and Eddie did about it after Blood and Guts 2022. Not only were there hints at professional disputes over whether to remain a team to pursue singles, but Santana admitted there were a lot of well, reality was ultimately created in the proud and powerful breaking up and together with all using and no deep proved to be Santana's AEW sponsor. Despite their personal issues, both men agreed to work together. That said, it does look as if Frankie very much hoped for now. Number 6, the father and Richard was actually something of a stroke of genius. An unfriendly character, albeit have them renounced. Moral crusaders that to admit that he bullied the former Eve, despite the fact that his own plight had nothing to do with him personally. Realizing his role in the backstage, Richards didn't give as good shots and mostly just used lead of the NSA. He wasn't happy about it, obviously, and spent the right to censor run depressed and bitter. Treated also having no real clue as to why it was. Richards assisted, while he now understands where the WWE is coming from, it still wasn't right. Number 5, Stevie Richards and Raven. Of course, poor Stevie Richards had experience when it came to where one years prior to WWE, Richards was a member of Raven's in ECW and then Raven's Park in W. But off to a frosty, but an enthusiastic producer and bound to work hard and do his best in the role and leave Raven to blow him off. Richards realized rather quickly the stable fleet was, in his own words, a jerk-off. With a more experienced top-man and mentor and help with his career, but Raven was not equal. And to be fair, had his own issues. He was Raven's lad, not just in the storyline. Road to do things like ride around and carry his the hope of learning about work out as he would have liked, with Raven continuing to proudly throw Richards under the bus at him. The relationship was, thankfully, a lot better. Their paths crossed later in tag. Number 4. Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. They assumed all bearded folks that love professional wrestling might help to friends. But according to Wyatt family members Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, they were not kindred spirits and spent a long time resentful of one another. For Harper, he didn't appreciate they were forced to root. Using Rowan's intense scoring as the men. Rowan confirmed that he too did not like it. Noted that they frequently literally things never do. However, over time they became Bray Wyatt's calming presence, helping to back on track when things boiled. Toward the end, Wyatt family's before they successfully partnered as Bludgeon Harper and Rowan came to the realization they would always come together and decided to make the best of it, eventually genuine friends. The 3, Paul Roma and the rest of the Horsemen. On WWE Horsemen, there are 2 minutes dedicated to burying Roma, who was illustrious. 1993, a host of talking heads deride Roma as the first Horseman ever. It's echoed by members Ric Flair and Arn Anderson. Big Rick and Double A criticized Roma's lack of star power, including that he could never be to throw up the fame. Hell, Roma himself has on numerous things thrown up one thing. The one out is. According to Roma, Flair was jealous of him, younger and had a better body. All the way, some of Slick Rick's spotlight club. With regards to the enforcer, who called Roma nothing more. The former WCW tag team, likened him to the Pillsbury Doughboy, has been especially critical of Flair, going so far as to win his words challenge him. I mean, I get your frustrations, but I saw the 75-year-old pick. Number 2, Bobby Heenan and the Red Rooster. Bobby Heenan, such a great and accomplished man, that by the time he was amazing about getting body over, just about, Crane had a loose group of wrestlers, the Heathen family, though they may have not stable in the did occasionally, and were linked their connection with a brilliant Bobby. Among the future Hall of Famers there was a notable outline form of the Red Rooster. The storyline, he was determined to take the clueless clucker from to the top. But behind, the brain did not like being paired with terror. Look and in Heenan decided the Red human. Embarrassment are also often less than flattering essential as a he also played the lighter over trivial things when the two later worked in World Championship Wrestling. Taylor, for his part, never fully hit back at him, but admitted his relationship with the brain was strained. Number 1, Farouk and Ahmed Johnson. during the night that tested arrogant demeanor from Ponchon rubbing people the wrong way. One of those people was Ron Simmons. The tension between the two carried over into the ring, with both men working noticeably stiff in matches together. According to Arnett, this gave him a hard kick during a run-in one. Led to Johnson off the ring. From Arnett's account, he got his receipt when they clashed in and street fight. 13. Bad blood persisting and was added to the nomination. That addition didn't last. Arnett and Farouk's dislike for each other certainly. They continued warring in the months that followed. Another Simmons admitted. Regard. Johnson didn't last long. Much of the room happy to see. Was damn happy to see. The next big thing. Those 4 words can make or break a new wrestling season. We've seen successes in the form of Hulk Hogan, the Warrior, Bret Hart, and Sting, whereas Brock Lesnar took them figuratively and literally becoming the youngest WWE and short after debuting and for as a mention. But successes like these are often, as more often than not, the next big thing title damns whoever is attached. In the past few years alone, we've Reigns struggled with turn, with the man pinning screens of Reigns as the WWE Universe, resentful of how he was presented as the great new hope. That's not to say, though, that things can't be around. Remember crowds shouting, "Die, Rocky, die," at hapless Rocky Maivia, making their tune when he morphed into the Rock and started to talk about monkey asses and eyes. Or a fickle bunch. But while some have managed to shake off the shackles, others have drowned under weight and ended up not realizing their full. Analysis from Column.com, and these are 10 of wrestling's next big things. Winner. Number 10, Cara. Big, bumbling, blue, botchy, like Cara was given massive attention with WWE in Triple H's first personal project. CMLL megastar Mystico was seen as a major training and was poised to become something they really craved. The next, selling that sweet Latin American audience money, Cara was given the star attraction treatment straight away. A cool mask, an elaborate entrance, and unfortunately, during his in-ring debut, Cara botched his entrance by clipping his throat, tarnishing his straight away and serving as a precursor for the run. Former Mystico had to adapt to the WWE line, training exercises, and was not remotely ready. As a result, his matches were full of mistakes. Bad news for WWE, good news for certain botched things. Well, WWE, but nothing could. To try and disguise his awkward in-ring work, WWE kept the sensual mood lighting on during his matches, but audience complained as no one could see what the hell was going on. Come January 2014, Cara packed his bags, said, "Bugger this, I'm going back to Mexico and I'm keeping my gift," and was released by WWE. Number
After Friday the 13th, the final chapter, the series was in an awkward place. Jason Voorhees.
So when I did Steve Harvey, I just was like, what? You've got mail.
Because I'm doing it because he doesn't finish anything. Yeah. Then I said, now something's starting to look kind of fucking right about him. Very sweet. Very slow. Very slow. You know, I've done stuff now where I'm doing wrong shit. They're doing very proud. This Bill Bellamy. Good show. I don't go to a lot of shows because they're very active. Very good comedian. I'm a little better than you. Very good. Very good. I've seen a lot of shows. Now, so I can do what the I do. No, we travel. We don't really like us. I go, how am I going to trust supporters who are very, very, very humble? But when you waste it, yeah, because they can't. They go, God, and a black dude. When I go, everybody in here, I don't really care about any. They're like, God damn, you sound good. Like that. What the fuck, you know, South. I'm talking about the South where the mouse on the right now, that was. God damn, you. A dude that has a little bit of a little bit of snow. Right now. But she. Yeah. That's why where all this shit comes from is my dad, man. That shit. Oh, you part of the disciplinarian. I go to the library every Sunday. My father said, okay. None of them knew that, because all of them have been on TV. Impersonations are very slow. Legendary. That was an accident. I remember talking to people, how you go? Oh, I did that. It's like everybody. That's what. Man, we impersonate so many people. I said I always could impersonate. I just never was on a TV show to show the shit. I would go against Pharaoh, me, and Abe would go. And then Steve Harvey, he sent me a little DM. And when I just see a kick got me off. How you gonna read? I just see Steve Harvey fought. I don't know why, where. But I see your ass to the age. You doing this fucked up shit. You connect. Harvey. Yeah. Karma. Yeah. Karma. Yeah. After okay. Mike's. M-I-C-S. Okay. My favorite is when these motherfuckers made it, right? And they're like in Hawaii or some Raekwon. Man. And they're looking like at the whole man. At the ocean bird. Man, niggas been looking at no shit like this. Yeah. You know, in nature, don't. You know what I mean? I love it, man. You know the way they talk. Shit is so like, man, from the projects, man. And now we got garbage, birds, and trees, and mountains. I ain't looking at mountains. I ain't going mountains and birds. I ain't going guys that are ability. A guy like my house, like now that's he had that's Austin, South by Southwest, right? Goes yeah. I don't know. I love. I was trying to get this. Right. My shorty over the bathroom. I'm like, hey, I know this. And he was like, no, little motherfucker, get the fuck out. He's like, God, I gotta get some. I just don't. I was out there, he just got some. I was fucked up. I was brave. I just want. And then so he gets in, right? He goes, hurry up, motherfucker. You better hurry up. I'm watching. He goes, all right, let me. When he said, he goes, hey, look. I love telling that joke. Yo, that fucking Ollie. We're part of a very fascinating schedule. I have a question. What just happened? This isn't an intervention. Hang on. It's not an intervention. This is a question because I wish I could do it. I've never not seen. That's in the city. First off, on the road, like he fucking on work, right? But then in the city, he always does the late sets at the cellar. Yeah. I don't know if you're doing other sets everywhere else, but what is it about performing at 1:30 in the fucking morning on a Tuesday night? Like, it's called not being on a show. That's why you go to bed early, brother. Because you are that's it. I'd like to be early too. You know what I would love to do, Davis, Bobby, what you do in the voice? Like, where's my bottle? Oh, you got email. This was breastfeed. How am I saying? I'm a baby. Where in the hell's my milk? Gotta change my diaper. Got too cold in my ass. Your ass. My mama. Like that ass. Diaper's cool. That's You and your goddamn podcast and your bonding. I'll throw up in my own mouth. I remember when I was talking to Seinfeld one time at the cellar. Seinfeld was giving me advice. We were talking for like an hour, and Jim is just. I see Jim just zeroing him and going, like getting advice from Seinfeld, sitting there like a little, just like a student. So you dumb face. Just, yeah, look, he didn't even go to chin disappearing. Like this. Jim's chin just he's like Godfrey. He's like Godfrey. How dare you? You're funnier than him. Yeah. And you're sitting there like a pupil. Yeah. Hey, where's your school uniform, you muck?
But I saw you doing the thing about the spelling bee. Why Indians are so good at the spelling bee. You're like, you know why they can spell anything? Listen to their names. And their last names. Jesus Christ. Raji Madhavaramananda. They already have practice. Like, of course you're not beating a motherfucker that spells his whole name is a sentence. They need to put his name in a sentence. Like, spell your last name. Oh, can you put it in a sentence? That's how trained they are. They won't even know it's their own name. Panamanananda. Would you put that in a sentence? What is the origin? From your damn family. Oh, okay. Oh, and get it. And ADD. And it's facts. Because I watched the spelling bee. I used to watch the spelling bee. These Indian kids was killing everybody. And then a black girl won last year. Out of boredom, she won. She's that smart. She was like, I was bored, so I beat all the Indian kids. So I had this joke about Indian kids, like, how did you just come and beat? We study every day the dictionary, we study everything, almanac, we study everything, Google it. And this black girl just come here and beat it the first time. I was the first American to do an American set in Russia. I didn't know. And my manager was like, the Russians want you. I said, for what? He's like, what for? He's like, they have a comedy festival. I said, they laugh? He's like, God damn. There's a festival. They only started doing comedy like 7 years in Russia.
How did that work? Because they're not the most freedom of speech people.
That's what I'm saying. So they Skyped me, they was like, hey, we've been watching all of it. The way they did it was like, God, we're very happy. We watched all of your tapes. You're very funny. You laugh. They look like a straight face.
Right.
You're very hilarious. We love you. We want to welcome you to Punchline. It's our second annual Punchline Festival. We cannot wait for you to come. I was like, oh, well, I don't know. I'm not sure. They said, we already put money in account.
Like, okay.
I'm like bullshitting you. I was like,
They didn't even know your rate, though.
I was like, I looked, I said, I cannot wait to come. I cannot wait. Very good. I can't wait. I've been waiting for all my life to come.
I think there's a lot of white people in the United States who have little to no contact with non-white people.
Most of America, of course, is white because it was gangster. Because America was brown at one time. It was all brown.
That's true.
And then motherfuckers came in.
Yep.
I'm going to explain this.
Came in like we do.
Came in like we doing what we do. Came in, did my thing. Boom, boom.
Changed the whole demographic.
You know what I'm saying? It was like boom, 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 and whatnot.
Yep.
Bow, bow. That's how you got to explain white supremacy now. Got to be like, so, they came through.
By the way, you would scare so many white people with this explanation, genuinely. If you were like, boom, 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 people would be like,
Let me explain how it happened. I ain't trying to offend nobody. Here, boom. White brothers and sisters came in, white niggas came in. Boom. White niggas came in and said, yo, what's good? We know this shit. Had the buckle shoes and shit. Had the little hats, like little pimps and shit. Was like, yo, you Indian, what's good? Running Cloud is my man, Buffalo, what's good? Yo, I like your land. I'm like, bro, if you motherfuckers gonna have to get up. You're gonna have to run it. You know what I mean?
Back of my head hurts.
All that, boom, that's nice. I got you, dude. Check it out. Let me just beat the land real quick and see what's up. And
if you did that, to like a white conference, you'd leave him there like this rapper came in, he scared the fuck out of him. He was talking alt, you know how they talk? I don't know what he was saying.
And the Indians was like, yo, that's cool, but make sure, let us know what you doing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, bet. So, hey, man. So
they're all shaking hands.
Next day, he was like this. Yo, my man, get the fuck out, man.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Got the muskets ready. Y'all, hey, it is what it is. Just business, baby. Just business all day. Feel me? Boom, boom, boom. So y'all, you going to be over here? We rocking right here.
All right, and now we're in modern times. All right.
I got Norm Macdonald, too, which is crazy. Oh, shit. I did a show with him one time in the Laugh Factory, and he was like, hey, Godfrey, man, you're funny. I saw your act downstairs. Man, you're really good. He's like, man, all your voices and all that transition's really good. He goes, you ever done Saturday Night Live? I go, no, fuck them. He goes, they hate me. NBC, they fucking hate me. They fired me.
all the exits that you do, and impersonations, I understand, but like, when do you practice this shit? Because
I just 1 to 2 Indian accent, 2 to 4 Chinese.
Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey, 5 to 4. Steve Harvey, 5 to 6. Steve Harvey, Obama.
You know what, Steve Harvey? Because I've never heard him do an impersonation or an accent that sounded rusty. Like by the time it's on, you'll hear a new joke.
Oh yeah.
And the accent's perfect. I'm like, when are you practicing? Because are you walking down the street, nigga?
No.
Like, when
If I start talking to myself down the street, I'm gonna have a cup in my hand.
Why?
I want money. Oh, this dude crazy. Who want me to do Steve Harvey?
I'm gonna be on the train like, ladies and gentlemen, I've got all kind of impersonations.
I mean, when you do a show like that, then you gotta feel invincible.
I feel, nothing, no one can fuck with me.
Yeah.
Like, cause Russia, like with the whole Russian-Ukraine shit, that's like a whole nother kind of white, man. They a whole nother kind of white.
Mm-hmm.
And not knocking you guys, but nah, it ain't shit.
He's Puerto Rican.
Oh, you Puerto Rican? Oh, nah, look at him passing. Look at him. And you can be our spy. You can be like, you know those Puerto Ricans, huh? You can like, all right. Look at this guy. Fucking damn. Plátano? God damn. Them and their plantains. You get the white dude to start talking shit. God, that salsa, that crap. What do you think about the salsa music so loud, huh?
Tony Woods is the first time I ever performed internationally. He took me to Amsterdam. And, you know, the Dutch are cold people.
Yeah.
And they're the land of the giants, too.
Tall.
They're big, gigantic motherfuckers that are like cold, you know. And that's why they were good colonizers, guys.
Yeah.
Hello, New York.
Yeah, there's big fucks.
Big fucks.
Even the chicks, you're like,
yeah, you're getting on that slave shit.
Yeah.
Whoa, wow, good stuff. That was, hello, is this working? Wow, did not know that. That joke, folks, is old.
I mean, the Dutch are going to make you do whatever they want. Yeah.
You going to do it.
You're gonna
Make
do
fun
it.
of our buckled shoes, bitch.
Yeah. You're going to be making
Yo, man, I'm put it so far up your ass, you're going to be shitting buckles, baby. Hey, my man, get on that shit.
So this big motherfucker came through. He was like, yo,
He came through, big ass white dude.
he said, yo.
Put me in the chains and shit. You know what I mean? Had a lot of work to do, singing songs, my man. You know what I mean? Hit me with the whip. We did our thing.
Chains and shit.
Chains stacked us in the bottom. Boom. Started from the bottom, now we're here. And that's why I live in Virginia.
Specials are what keep, that's like your catalog.
Chappelle did what, 4 in a year or something?
He has a catalog, and I hope that
Chappelle's specials are like his podcast. He's like, we're going to throw out another one here.
Yeah, it's amazing. He just goes,
I want to do a special. I think I need to talk to the gay community again. That's another special. I know this is going to be part 2 of me not being homophobic.
Chappelle can be in his fucking underwear in his bathroom. They're like this.
I'm doing one out the bathroom. It's going to be prolific.
The Dropping the Deuce tour.
Yeah, Dropping the Deuce is going to be on the toilet. Everyone's like,
man, that was brilliant.
Chappelle can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Let me ask you, let me give you a scenario. Let's say you and I are on the road. Godfrey and Bobby Lee show. We're in Cincinnati.
All right.
Right? We see the most beautiful girl in the world.
Yeah.
She's like, I want to make love to both of you. Right? Can we do
Black
it
and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow.
Can we do it at the same time, would you?
Nah.
Why? I let you go first.
Not with you. Hell no.
Why?
You'll be like, let me get it back at you, got me.
That's exactly.
You're like this.
Come on, got me.
Fuck that. I'm like, fuck off me, Bobby.
You would do that.
Come on. It would be fun, though. It would be. No, it would not.
I want to share a quote, because I shared this quote with you, man. I don't know whether you read Seneca or any of these motherfuckers that do stoicism. He who laughs at the human race deserves better of it than he who mourns for it. For the former leaves it some good hopes of improvement, while the latter stupidly weeps over what he has given up all hopes of mending.
Fire.
So just bring that
So that, I need that. I'm going to say that on stage one day. My friend, a good comedian of mine, David Hill, is a very fan of Seneca. And I want to read this quote that he transferred to me. Well. I'm definitely going to do that. Yeah. That shit. Don't read technique. I got it. Yeah. I was going to say, read it. I thought you were going to leave and end the show. I want to say something to a very famous philosopher, Seneca. This is what I don't usually do this, but I am a man of philosophy, education, and this I couldn't ignore. And a friend of mine, David Hill, very funny comedian and mathematician, by the way. David Temple. Hill.
I thought you said Dave Mattel.
David Temple told me,
This is from the famous philosopher, right?
Yeah.
Seneca. He who laughs at the human race deserves better of it than he who mourns for it. For the former leaves it some good hopes of improvement, while the latter stupidly weeps over what he has given up all hopes of.
It's like wiping your ass with silk, nigga.
I bid you good night.
I mean, he was kind of the first celebrity president. And Obama was kind of the second one. But Obama doing a podcast with Bruce Springsteen, Obama having
Just
these
to
like
see, I just want to see that like this. You know, sometimes Obama. I understand what you're saying.
Wow, this guy's doing the whole podcast.
I'm a real big fan of your music. I really.
Wow.
I think that Born in the USA. That's a great song. I appreciate you. You know, I mean, sometimes, you know, Obama. I think your presence.
Oh, okay, what about if Trump started a podcast with Ted Nugent?
Cat scratch fever. Very good, very good. But I really don't need you on my podcast. You're not that great. I think that AC/DC way better than you. Angus Young, better guitarist.
How is Trump not starting a podcast?
I know you got this.
God, it'd be huge.
1, 2, 1, 2. I'm here. Very good podcast. The best podcast. I'll be doing it once a month. So this is going to be a great podcast. In fact, I can't wait to have guests.
I don't like Trump. I would listen to the podcast.
I would
listen
I
to
would
it
too.
in a heart.
I just want to hear him do ads. You gotta get sheets, underwear.
She's like this. Oh, Blue Chew. Very good tablets. I never use them. Very natural. Natural. Very good underwear. Very good underwear.
Somebody was telling me that back in the day, the reason why our penises are shaped the way they are is because it's to scoop out other men's cum.
Wait, your shit look like a shovel or something?
No. Someone was telling me back in the day. Hammerhead shark. What?
Up or down?
No.
Or does it turn?
Yeah, mine's not shaped like that, but they said that the reason why it's shaped like that is to scoop out other men's cum.
Oh, you mean like the head being bigger than the shaft, so it kind of pulls it?
Pulls cum out.
Why are you?
Because it's your turn.
What? How about you go take a shower?
I know exactly. Back in the
wash your own cooch.
No, back in the caveman days is what I'm talking about.
Caveman.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but you're talking about the white man. Because the black man was not.
They didn't do that. They didn't scoop.
We didn't scoop nothing. Because I just got back from DC. Shout out to DC Improv. Artie Fuqua hosted. Oh, and his long-winded jokes. I love Artie. I love Artie.
I see you.
I love Artie. I see you. And he goes, so I'm walking down the street. Okay, you didn't have to say that. And it's a nice, beautiful night. You don't have to say that.
He'd be like this,
dude. That motherfucker, if he ever sells meat, there's gonna be so much fat around it. Like, Artie, cut that part off. That motherfucker has so much charm. He charms his way through bullshit. It's fantastic.
I love Artie's ability to repeat a joke throughout the night. Like on some, if it didn't work in front of the cellar.
Nah, he'll try it over at the
2 hours later, at a table. Hey. He looked like, shit. What did I say earlier? I knew this. Hold on. That nigga will hold you in place until he puts the punchline.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Stay right there until I figure out who you look like, nigga. Don't go nowhere. What do you look like?
And Artie will do this. That's when he's loading his gun.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. What is his name? This one. Gilbert, right?
That Trump thing, it's fucking weird. I've seen Trump talk, even a black man talk. That is funny.
My first impression that I ever.
Little video right quick. That's bigger. I think that's what I did last time. Something, I don't know what that looked like. That.
Ever did?
No, the first one you want to start with today.
Shannon Sharp. All right, Shannon, I'm going to ask you a couple questions. Here we go. I'm going to ask you questions. So, I'm going to say, so what was your favorite sport growing up as a kid?
My favorite sport growing up as a kid. Probably. I like football. Football, then basketball.
Basketball. Did you ever play baseball?
Nah, I was scared of the ball.
So how good were you in basketball? Could you dunk?
I could. I was better in basketball than I was football.
Oh, okay. So did you play in high school? Did you start in grade school? What did you start in?
I played coming up. I mean, obviously, you did all the sports. You played football, ran track, played basketball. And so I played all the way through. Started playing, I was probably about 4th or 5th grade and played all the way through high school. With them.
Okay. What was your favorite event in track and field? Were you fast?
I was. I ran on the relay teams. I really didn't do a whole lot of individual sprints. I was a field event guy, so I long jump, triple jump through the disc. But I was on the 4x1 and the 4x4.
I was on the 4x1. Okay, I was the first leg. First leg. And like my grandmother said, if you ain't a frog, you better jump in the pond. I know that don't mean shit. That don't mean nothing. That will never make no sense. But all the things... People are afraid to agree with me because I'm a big motherfucker and I beat your ass. But anyway.
So let me ask you a question. How did you stumble upon like, you know what? I can do him. How long did you have to practice and how many did you play it back? Like, okay. Make sure I get the voice in play. Because you have the mannerisms.
Yeah, I was watching you, on FS1. And I was like, I think I could do him. I just was like, Skip. And then Skip helped me.
Yeah.
Skip. Hey, Skip. Listen, Skip, I'm going to tell you this, right? I've been in the NFL for a long time. Right? And I used to, I never had a toilet. I had to doo-doo outside in the backyard. Hey, Skip, I'm going to tell you that right now. No, let's go. But I'm going to tell you now, how the hell are you going to tell me that the East is going to beat the West? Come on, Skip. Come on. Tell me. It's like with a lot of impersonators.
Right.
You got Pharaoh, you got Ari Spears, and you hear it, and if it's in your range, it's a natural gift. It's like when musicians can just go, all right, let me just play. They can play something and tune. It's like when they tune it with a piano or a horn.
Right.
It's the same shit. Like one of my first impersonations was Ali.
Okay.
When I was like 5.
Okay.
Because my relatives come from Nigeria.
Okay.
And they would say, do Muhammad Ali. We'll give you $1. I'd be like, I'm fast, I'm pretty, I shook up the world. I'm the greatest. I told you Howard Cosell, you too ugly. Joe Frazier's too ugly. Ken Norton's too ugly. George Foreman's too ugly. I'm fast, I must be the greatest. I used to do that at 5.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, I could do voices. And so I would, cartoon characters. And what's up, Doc? I would do that.
Right.
So I was just always into imitating people. And then when I started comedy, it was like my first time I was in a comedy team for a year.
Okay.
All right. And this is Chicago. I'm from Chicago. Shout out to all the Chicago comedians.
Because I heard they say Chicago got the best comedians. That's what Lil Rel told me about.
Lil Rel might be right on that one because Chicago.
What about the DMV? They got Quake and Mark.
Listen, man, I ain't from the DMV. So fuck all that. I said it. I said Chicago got the best. You got me, you got Deion Cole, you got D. Ray Davis, you got Lil Rel, Bernie Mac. Shout out to Bernie Mac.
Rest his soul.
And there's other cats. My man Evan Lionel, who literally started Bernie Mac in his career, who literally started comedy for black comics in Chicago. Evan Lionel, gotta give him his credit. But there's a lot of
a lot of great comics from Chicago. You got Adele Gibbons.
Yes.
You
Oh,
got
yeah.
Adele Gibbons. You got oh God, from The Talk. Cheryl Underwood is from Chicago. We got a lot of great and a lot of younger people coming up. But yeah, we're all at Craig Robinson.
Right. Okay.
Craig Robinson from Chicago. So you have a lot. It's something about Chicago. We're all different. We're all different styles. Everybody says none of you are the same. I said there's something about Chicago. But I started out in a comedy team.
Right.
And a team with another guy. It was Godfrey and Alexander. And my first time on stage, it was impersonations. It was a duo thing, so he played like a hypnotist, and it was some corny shit, but he would hypnotize me and shit. He's like, oh, I'm a hypnotist. I'm going to make you do different people. So my first was Bill Cosby.
Okay.
And I know now Cosby is kind of a taboo, but fuck it. Let's go for it. So I'd be like, you see, the people, and you got to understand, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so I did Cosby. Then I did Johnny Carson.
Okay.
Because I said, nobody's seen a black dude do Johnny Carson. So I would go, wow, good stuff. I did not know that. Right. Wow. Shannon, this is a great show. Wow. Bomb. I would do that. So it was Ali. Those were my first impersonations, but I I didn't dwell on impersonations because if you depend on the impersonations, your act gets corny.
Right.
So, and I made sure when I was doing comedy in Chicago, I did it for about 3 years, and I went solo. And you know what's so funny? The person who told me to leave my comedy team was Steve Harvey.
The guy. So was that before he told? Were you impersonating him before or after he told?
I was impersonating Steve only like 3-4 years ago.
Okay,
I never impersonated him. I wasn't interested, But he told me because one day there was a club called All Jokes Aside in Chicago.
Okay,
it was the #1 black comedy club for 7 years. Shout out to Raymond Lambert, Mary Lindsay, and James Alexander. It was the #1 club in Chicago. Because a lot of times when you would do black urban rooms, it would be a black night at a white establishment. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, but Chicago was a black comedy club in the 90s that was open 7 days a week. All right. And so from there, I went solo. I broke up with the guy that I was with. I wanted to go solo. So
how difficult was that? Because I'm sure you guys had been together for what, 3, 4, 5 years?
About 2 years. About 2 strong years, and I was like, I was a little, because I don't think he was as passionate as I was in it. I was writing most of the sketches, and then I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna go solo. So I started writing shit on the side, like just in case this doesn't go well, I'm gonna do shit on my own.
Right.
So I started writing stuff on my own, and it was kind of easy to keep it moving. Because you know what I'm saying? I just started doing shit on my own. I didn't even really tell him. I just started going on my own. And then from there, I ran into TK Kirkland.
Okay.
Now, people, if you know TK Kirkland, T to the motherfucking K. I ran into him because I would do shows with him at this club, All Jokes Aside. And then TK said, Godfrey, man, I need to take you to New York City. He's like, I like your style. You kind of corny, but you know what? I like you, and I'm going to find you a manager. So he found me, and this is facts. He found me my first manager.
Right.
And, remember Anthony Michael Hall? Remember Breakfast Club, the movie Breakfast Club, or 16 Candles?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with Molly Ringwald.
The little Molly Ringwald with the little blonde kid. Mm-hmm. His dad was my manager.
Okay.
Tom Chistaro. They've passed him and his partner, David Klingman. TK hooked us all up. It was me, Mike Epps. It was like John Leguizamo. It was, it was Sandra Bullock. And this is me moving to New York City. I packed up, drove 20 hours. You know what I'm saying? I said, it's time. I got my agent. Mm-hmm. This is all from TK doing it.
Right.
TK at the time, criminal shit.
Right.
Taking people's credit cards, getting arrested shit. This man found me my agency.
Right.
So as soon as I got to New York City on my own, I started doing the New York circuit. That's when I I would meet like Tracy Morgan and all these, like Chappelle, everybody. I was meeting all kinds of people. And that was when, I said, yeah, I'm going to start doing this on my own. When I drove 20 hours in a U-Haul truck.
Right.
20 hours with my friend Bernadette, who was in Love Jones. We drove 20 hours. Wow. And then from there, that was when I started to, and my manager at the time said, you can do a lot of voices, but don't count on that. Don't make that your thing.
Okay.
Build on your comedy, build on your jokes and your material. And I said, okay, I'm gonna do that. So the voice thing now, people didn't even know I did all these voices until the pandemic.
Wow.
Nobody knew because I've auditioned for different like sketch comedy shows. Living Color, didn't get that shit. SNL rejected me 3 times. 3 times. I auditioned for SNL in, was it 98, 99?
Right.
It was me, Tracy Morgan, Jimmy Fallon, Kevin James, a lot of motherfuckers. I got a standing ovation that night because I did Cosby, I did Johnny Carson, I don't even remember the other people I did, but I did a bunch of them, did a bunch of characters, and I didn't even get to the second round. Wow. Didn't even make it to the second round. And you know, as a young comic, I'm only 3 years in, I'm auditioning for SNL.
Right.
Eddie Murphy is my superhero. Eddie Murphy? Like, I might be able to do what Eddie Murphy did? Because I saw Eddie Murphy in college.
Right, okay.
When he was doing the Raw tour.
Yes.
He came by our school, and I was like, shit. I was like, damn. And I have to give Tommy Davidson credit from the DMV. He came and performed in my college. He was one of the main guys that really influenced me to do comedy because in college is when I wanted to do comedy. I was like, yeah. My 3rd year, I was like, I think I want to do comedy. I was a pre-med psych major, you know, and I was like, yeah, there was Tommy Davidson because Tommy Davidson, I showed him around the campus. He came to my campus, I showed him around. And then some years later, when I got to New York, doing comedy in New York, I did this show called Premium Blend. Premium Blend is on Comedy Central. That was when Comedy Central was funny.
Right. Oh.
I know. That's when it was live.
That was a sneak diss.
That's when But Comedy Central was dope, you know, and so Premium Blend is like you get up there and you do like 7 minutes. So this was exciting for me. I've never done TV comedy on TV. And what's funny as things go round and round, Tommy Davidson was the host of that show I was on. Wow. And he remembered me. He said, you dude that showed me around your campus. I was like, yo, you're one of the main reasons I wanted to do comedy. Right. So it was Tommy Davidson. Let me get some of this cognac. Ooh, boy, Shaddy, boy, you made it tough, man. That cognac good, boy. I'm gonna tell you right now, that cognac good. Like my grandmama said, if you ain't gonna drink cognac, better get that Hennessy. It's right next door to Sesame Street.
Okay.
You remember that famous song? Can you tell me how to get?
Yes.
How to get to Sesame Street. Just to see Shannon Sharp know Sesame Street.
I do.
Right? You would think a big
Everybody
guy
grew
like
up
him.
on Sesame
Street.
Street.
Of course. I can just see you singing, can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street?
Come and...
Come on, sing it. I want to see a big dude singing.
Come and play. Everything's A-okay.
I love Sesame Street, man. I'm going to tell you this right now. Sesame Street's my favorite. My grandmother said, what'd she say? If you don't know how to get to Sesame Street, I'm going to show your ass. I've been to a lot of countries. You've been to a lot of countries. I've been to a lot.
I've been to a lot of countries.
You haven't been to a lot of countries? You're so Southern. Yeah. He's like, I mean, I'll go.
I've been to a lot of states.
A lot of states. God damn. I mean, I go fishing over there sometimes. And out here, my RV out there.
Yeah.
Like my grandma said, man, if you ain't got nothing to do, stay where you at.
I just want you to know right now, before you go any further, I'm gonna side with Tip. I just figured I was doing so. Whatever you say, I'm
You're
team
an
Tip.
asshole, man.
Just so we clear, I don't want no bits.
It's like this. He from the South. I'm from the South. I don't give a damn.
Yep.
Like my grandmother said. If there's 2 frogs on the pond, we gonna sit up there on each other. What? My parents would use broken English, pidgin English, and my sister knew when they were speaking straight Igbo because she was born there. She
Pigeon English. I don't know, but I know pigeon toad.
Pigeon toad. I know about pigeon toad, but
I know about
stool pigeon.
Yeah.
I know about pigeon toad.
Want to join Club Shay Shay? Become an official member by hitting that subscribe button, where you never know who's going to be joining us for drinks and conversation. Don't be late to the party because you know we
Hey everybody, this is your president. You know what it's going to be. I'm going to be your president. You know what it is. 2024, you're president. But enough about me, enough about me. Did you see